Hi, this is Michael Simpson, the director of Sleepaway Camp 2, and we're going to take a behind-the-scenes look at the making of Happy Campers. This is a rehearsal where Pamela Springsteen, playing Angela, tries to determine the best way to kill the character of Demi, who was played in the movie by Kendall Bean. Angela's made this decision on the spur of the moment, so she's quickly considering several choices before settling on a guitar string. Working with Pam was a real treat. She brought a lot of energy and a lot of humor to the role. One of the interesting things about this scene was choosing the various things that she was going to consider in the killing of Kendall Bean's character Demi. We sort of improvised through 2 or 3 different ideas and decided one of the things that she could do is actually pick up the radio and test the weight of it to see if that might be something she could knock on Kendall's head with, and then her character Angela decides that that's not exactly the right thing, and instead we'll use a string. Now that the rehearsal is complete, we're ready to roll film. Here we have makeup artist Maritza Rodriguez, and she's carefully applying the gore makeup for Kendall's slit throat, which is the result of Angela's handiwork with a guitar string. After she finishes up, Frank Galini, the art director, will add the final touches. I had my own special meter I use for this sort of thing. When I start to wince, I know that it's ready to shoot. This is Valerie Hartman, who's having leeches applied to her face by Bill Johnson, the mastermind behind the gore effects for Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. He earned the nickname Splat, with good reason. His work was truly inspired, and he was backed by a great team.
Yeah, a little bit, but since it's sweet acid, it probably wouldn't be a whole lot, so just put a little bit up around the hairline. Okay. Just a tad, and you might want to put a little bit of KY in there to make it a little more glistening, too. All right. Keep your eyes closed, please.
Here's our close-up look at TC's skull after it's been exposed to battery acid. It still has the remnants of TC's famous mullet.
So tell us a little bit about what goes into making a model like this.
Well, most of them are done on live cast from the actors, but this one was done using a model of a skull, and then dental acrylic was used to build up the face, and then various foam rubber pieces were attached and painted, covered with blood. Hair is attached, and then it goes onto a dummy.
So is this fun?
No, I hate it. It's great fun. It's like getting to play.
Well, right now I'm gluing eyelashes on the lids to this acrylic head.
This is Sean's dummy head. It's being prepped for the abandoned cabin scene.
Eyeballs are socketed, and I have to not get any glue on the eyeballs or they will not work. And
What would this be used for, this head?
This is going to be used instead of the actor actually getting his head cut off. They're going to show them actually cutting his head and his head rolling off and blood squirting out of the neck and blood all over the base of this head. Well, first
You can see the dummy's amazing resemblance to the actor Tony Higgins. Splat did a great job.
Cast on him and use that mold and pour clay into it and then build sculpts on it. Then we have to make another cast of that and pour the dental acrylic in it. And then it's got to be painted and hair glued on, eyelashes, eyebrows, and eyes put in, and then fixed where it can however it needs to be, whether it's going to be cut off or if it's going to be the whole head showing or just half or.
So when you do this stuff, how do you make the eyes move? I mean, what's involved in making a gag like this look a little more lifelike?
That involves a radio control. It's back here under the hair. You can't really see it right now. But these eyes are actual circles, and they have a little stem on the back of them, which a tube is attached to it, and a bar attached to that, and a radio control controls that.
Laura Paris and Tracy Thornton were our wardrobe department. They worked hard to create the right look for the movie. Can you guess the hardest part?
The blood. The blood was tough. We'd have to wash the blood out immediately or else it dries.
But you don't wash it out if you have to use it again later on.
Yes, the dummies, we had to match the shirts on the dummies, and when we killed the characters on the first day of shooting, and we have their dummies on screen day, whatever, it got kind of confusing.
What about the acid burns? Looks like what you're doing there?
Yeah, we're trying different things to see if it will look enough like battery acid. I don't know if that's working.
What do you think?
Does it look like, what looks like battery acid to you? The burns.
The burns?
Yeah.
The burns, yeah. We're gonna have to get that lighter back.
All
We're gonna
right.
play with fire. Where'd it go?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have a lighter?
Here we go.
Don't do it near the street syntax.
Okay, hold it up. This is how you do a battery acid burn. Watch, it's like this whole thing.
Yeah,
Go
what if that
ahead.
shoe polish will ignite.
They're prepping the shirt for TC, who got burned with acid.
That'll
Do
look
one
like
more.
battery acid, yeah.
Watch the
Put your fingers.
Watch the fingers.
What was the original angle on it?
Although most of Unhappy Campers was filmed on location at Camp Waco in Bremen, Georgia, east of Atlanta, two key scenes from the movie, Allie in the outhouse and the interior of the abandoned cabin, were filmed at Lakewood Studios in Atlanta. Here I'm talking with Shad Leach, who was a set designer, and Jerry Peace, the first assistant director.
It's like, with the abandoned house, it sits back a little bit.
Okay. So we took, correct me if I'm wrong, but Angela was here with a stick and Allie.
Her last motion was, getting the can, getting the toilet.
Toilet, yeah. Get in the toilet.
So, this is the schedule.
A good crew is like an extended family. Here Maritza gives boom operator Bill Fibbin a haircut and a warm smile.
There's a lot of negotiations involved. It's favor for favor is usually the way it works.
What do you get out of this?
Nothing.
She hasn't decided yet.
It's said that a crew, like an army, travels on its stomach. No matter how limited the budget, it's always important to make sure the crew is well fed.
There's so many different people and so many different tastes, it usually takes us a few days to get on to just what everyone likes, but we try to have a lot of variety, and that way we eventually we please everyone.
After a long morning of killing unruly campers, it's time for lunch. On this day, Valerie Hartman, who was so memorable as the trash-talking Allie, had to eat lunch with the leeches still applied to her face. She was a good sport about it, though. As you can see in these photos, the crew enjoys the food. That's actor Benji Wilhoit in the background on the left of your screen. He's dressed up in his death makeup for the abandoned cabin scene.
Full flood. Say that one.
After lunch, it's time for the final prep of the abandoned cabin interior. Here, Jeff Becker, the best boy gaffer, works with Keith Scherer, the key gaffer, to set the lights.
A wee bit tilled up.
The right lighting can help set the mood even on a lower budgeted film.
Now if we can take it off of from here up, take it off of from here down.
Danger, danger.
I want the C47. Let's need a number 1 spring clip.
Hang on a second.
Doesn't look like when that kind of thing comes down.
Doug.
Now you're talking.
Boy, one of these still doesn't drive good.
Now you're talking, yeah.
Okay, do it.
He looks nice, doesn't he? He's a bit bright.
Now Splat and his team are putting the final touches on Sean's head. Soon the crew will be ready to shoot the climactic scene where Angela beheads Sean as Molly watches in horror.
I'm turning it on.
Okay, turn on and cover. Okay.
This is one of the very few scenes in Unhappy Campers where we used both A and B cameras to record the action.
Right now, let it go. How's it look for you, Keith?
I'm not backlit, so don't worry about me. You be the judge.
Yeah, blow it out of there, Jerry, as quick as you can. All right,
Am I in the right position?
You look great there, Pam. Everybody looks good.
Thanks. Norman. Taking
Stand by.
Sean, don't move your head.
Okay, here we go.
Sean, stay still.
We're set.
Stand by.
Okay. Ready.
And cameras are rolling.
Speed.
Set.
Set.
And action.
And as Pam turns away, we say goodbye to our look at the making of Unhappy Campers.